In the news media are targets of a harsh critique for our treatment of Donald Trump from an unlikely source. He's a University of Texas professor named Alberto Martinez. An ardent supporter of Bernie Sanders, Martinez is no Trump advocate, but he's writing a new book dissecting news reporting on the president and says fair is fair.
I was teaching a class in which I was talking about immigration, and then I was looking up for some news about it. I kept reading articles where people mentioned, you know, that one time when Trump said all Mexicans are rapists. And of course, when I went back and looked at it, I said, well, that's not actually what he said.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
It was alarming that the difference between what he said and what the media was saying was so large. That dragged me down the rabbit hole.
You supported President Obama.
Yes.
And to be clear, you find much of what Donald Trump says distasteful. You disagree with it.
Yeah, many of it I disagree with, but I don't think that the guy wakes up in the morning trying to be Hitler or the devil or the most evil man in the history of humanity. Yet that is how the media portrayed him.
There was an America First committee that formed in this country. They were infiltrated by the Nazis. Many of them were anti-Semitic, part of why they weren't alarmed by Hitler's rise in Germany.
You dissected the case in which President Trump, then candidate, was accused of mocking a reporter who had a disability.
And now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said.
What did you find?
I found 10 separate occasions in which Donald Trump made fun of people, both before the incident and after the incident, by shaking and moving around.
People who weren't disabled.
People who were not disabled.
When you see the president of the bank, I mentioned the word regulator.
What do you think about ISIS? Oh, ISIS is very tough.
Well, how did you get him? They were sent by Russia. They said, Senator Cruz, what do you think of waterboarding?
The media took an image, a moment in which Donald Trump's right hand happened to be bent at the wrist. They froze it, they compared it to the hand of a reporter that has arthrogryposis, and they acted that he was doing a stunning spot-on imitation when that's not what he was doing, and that's what he said he wasn't doing. So again, you can like him or dislike him, but you have to be fair.
You have said that Donald Trump says and does enough things that are legitimately open to criticism.
Yes.
But by the news media not reporting accurately in some cases, it undermines their credibility.
Yes. So, for example, when Donald Trump called for a ban on all Muslim immigration.
When I'm elected, I will suspend immigration from areas of the world where there is a proven history of terrorism against the United States, Europe, or our allies, until we fully understand how to end these threats.
I thought that was the end of his campaign. I thought it was awful. I thought it was bad. And so did countless many people. But then how did the media portray it? The media portrayed it as if Donald Trump wanted to forcefully remove Muslims from the U.S., have them wear badges on their shoulders, special marks on their ID cards, that he wanted to ban anyone from being a Muslim in the U.S.
Should Muslims be, fearful? Will there be consequences if they don't register?
He specifically said on the day that he made the proposal, he wasn't talking about Muslim Americans, he wasn't talking about businessmen, sportsmen, heads of state. He was talking about people moving to the U.S. What news reporters now they tend to do, they try to give, well, what is the worst possible interpretation I can give to the words I just heard? And then say, well, that's what he meant. Because I've got a special talent known as dog whistles. I can hear dog whistles. And even though he didn't actually say what I think he said that he hates all Muslims and that he wants to remove all Muslims from the U.S. Because I've got a special talent for it.
We, the citizens of America.
Do you think this phenomenon has resolved itself since Donald Trump was elected president?
I think it's resolved itself in as much as an increasing number of people are becoming increasingly immune to the terror that the media wants to portray on a daily basis. Every tweet is the moment of a collapse of civilization just because Donald Trump said it. And people are, starting to become immune to it. But the media itself has not yet changed. They learned nothing, and they have barely improved at all, and their mea culpas have been almost non-existent.
Professor Martinez's book is called The Media versus the Apprentice. Much of it can now be read online.